Hello students, good afternoon and welcome to math class today. We are continuing our lesson on probability from unit 12, page 72. So already we have learned some key things about probability, and today we're going to continue a little further into some other techniques or some other knowledge that you need to know about probability. First of all, you need to always understand your line of probability. In your line of probability, it always starts with 0 over the fraction that you are dealing with. In this case, we are dealing with 4 main sections, okay? So the first section becomes no chance. That means there is no chance of what you are expecting happen. And then the second part, which is 1 over 4, means you have a poor chance or you have unlikely chance, and which I hope you remember some of these words that we studied last week already. Impossible means there is no chance of happening. That means it is not possible. Poor chance means it is unlikely. That means you have a very small chance of your events or your results happening. When you get to the even means you are having like half, okay? So that is 2 over 4, and that gives you 0.5 or half. That means you have an even chance, okay, of happening, 50-50. If you put it in a percentage, it becomes 50-50. Again, if you have a good chance, that means you have 3 over 4, because this one we are using 4 sections. So we have 3 over 4. That means we have a good chance, or we have a likely chance of getting our results happening. Certain means you are 100% sure, or your fraction becomes like the same fraction. That means it's equal to 1. So if it's equal to 1, it means that it is 1 whole, and it means that it is 100% surety that the results that you are expecting will happen. So this is your line of probability. That always helps you to determine your results, how possible it will happen or not happen, okay? So you should also remember that another name for probability is likelihood. So when we say likelihood, in case I interchange the word probability to likelihood, you know that I'm referring to the same word of probability, okay? Now let's see in a practical example how you can use your line of probability to answer a real-time question or situation, okay? So Vincent is using a spinner, okay? So we represent this as our spinner. So our spinner is divided into 4 sections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. It comes with numbers 7, 9, 5, and that of 3. So let's see what the question says. It says that what is the likelihood? So when we say the likelihood, it means probability. So what is the likelihood that A, he scores an odd number? So on this spinner, when he spin it, what is the likelihood that he's going to score an odd number? Okay, so this is another stage of probability that you are just not supposed to look at your spinner or look at your work and just come out with the answer. You need to apply a certain knowledge that you have acquired before, and that is odd numbers. So first you need to understand odd numbers. What are odd numbers? So odd numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, there's going to be a remainder. If that happens, what is the chance or the likelihood that when he spins this, he's going to get an odd number? If you look at the numbers that we have here, all the numbers that we have here are odd numbers. That means he is certain, okay, he has 100% chance of getting an odd number. So what we can say that, we can say that he is certain. We are using our probability line to answer this particular thing. So we say he is certain. So we put certain there. That shows that he would definitely get an odd number when he spins the spinner. B, he scores, what is the likelihood that he scores less than 5? So what is the likelihood, the probability that he is going to score less than 5? Okay, so it's only 3 that is less than 5. That means he has only one chance of getting less than 5. So on our one chance on our probability line, which means he has a poor chance, okay? He has a poor chance. So it is unlikely that he is going to he's going to score, so we say unlikely, okay, that he is going to score less than 5, because we only have one number that is less than 5. He scores, what's the probability that he's going to score an even number? So what is an even number? An even number are numbers that when you divide with 2, you don't have any remainder. Okay, so let's see. Which of these numbers can you divide by 2 without any remainder? All these numbers, when you divide by 2, you're going to have a remainder. So what is his chances? His chances of getting an even number? It is 0, totally 0. So if you check on your probability line, 0 means he doesn't have any chance. There is no chance. So it is impossible. It is impossible, okay? It is impossible. Okay, that means he has no chance of getting an even number on the spinner. Let's see the last one. He scores a number greater than 6. So he's going to score a number greater than 6. Okay, so there are two numbers here that are greater than 6. So his chances falls on 2 over 4. That means it's going to be an even chance. It's going to be an even chance, okay? So it's going to be an even chance to get. Okay, so this is how we can use our line of probability to answer questions of this nature. You need to understand certain keywords that you are dealing with so that it helps you to find the right answers to the question that you are dealing with. Let's look at a second example that will also help you to understand on a different situation, okay? So we have another spinner here. This spinner comes with alphabets. Some alphabets are appearing 3 times, others are appearing 2 times, some are appearing only 1 time. The first thing that you need to do is to count the number of sections that your spinner is having. So let's do that quickly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we know that our spinner is divided into 8 sections, okay? So we have 8 sections, so we write that 8 over there. Good. The first question says, what is the probability of the spinner not landing on C or E? So not, that means what is the probability that it will not land on it? Okay, so we have C here, and then we have C here, and then we have C here. That means 3 chances that it will land on C. Okay, we also have 1 here for E. That means there are 4 chances that it is going to land on it. Okay, we have another C also here. So that means there are 5 chances, okay? There are 5 chances out of the 8 that the spinner can land on either C or E. But the key word here is not. So when you take your 5 sections out of your 8, you're going to remain 3, okay? So there are 3 over 8 chances that your spinner is not going to land on C or E. The 5 and 8 are the possible chances that it can land on either C or E, and 3 over 8 is the not possible chance that is going to land on C or E. So you try to know the difference. The key word here is not. So that means this is your correct answer, and this is a different one when the not is not over there. Let's look at our last example relating to this question. It says that what is the probability of the spinner not landing on B? Okay, so we still have not landing on B. Here we only have just 1 alphabet. So we only have 1 B here. That means the chances of the spinner landing on B becomes 1 over 8. Okay, so 1 over 8, it will land on B. That means 7 over 8 is not going to land on B. Okay, it is not going to land on B. It can land on any other numbers. That means we have 7 over 8. It's not going to land on B. I believe with this detailed explanation and example, it will help you to understand probability fully up to this point, and you'll be able to do a lot of questions and come out successfully. Your first activity on this video will be posted to you for you to deal with that. After that, we'll meet in the second video. Hello students, welcome to our second video. Our topic is on probability today. Okay, so on this video we're going to look at 2 more examples so that it will help us to deal with probabilities, okay? First of all, don't forget about your line of probability. That is always the key because that will guide you to always find answers to your questions. The question here we have is, what is the probability of choosing a square from this bag? Okay, so this is a bag that contains 2 squares and then it has 6 plus signs. So what is the probability of choosing square out of this? Okay, so first of all, we can use fraction to determine our answer, or we can use the words on the probability line of probability to also find our answer. So let's first do with a fraction, okay? So we're going to use a fraction to find our answer, and then we use the line of probability to also do it, okay? So first, if we are using fraction, okay, if we are using fraction, first we need to count the number of items that we have in our bag, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 items in our bag, okay? Out of the 8 items, 2 of it are square. So that means we're going to have 2 over 8. So we have 2 over 8 chances of getting square from this particular bag, okay? So that means we have 2 out of 8 to get our this. Okay, so 2, let's say we want to use word, okay? We want to use word from the line of probability. So if you look at this is less than half. So 4 will give us half of 8. So if we have 2, it means that we have less than half of it. That means we are not here, but we are somewhere here. So it means that we're going to have unlikely chance. We're going to have unlikely chance, or we're going to have a poor chance of choosing square out of our bag. So you can use a fraction to answer your questions, or you can use words from your line of probability to always answer your questions, and that will be more explanatory to whoever is expecting the results, okay? The next question is, what is the probability of choosing a triangle, okay? So what's the probability of choosing a triangle out of this one, okay? So we can use a fraction, or we can use the words to also do it. So first, if we are starting with a fraction, you first have to count the number of items that you are dealing with, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, okay? So we have 11 items over there. And how many triangles do you have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 7 triangles, okay? So that means we have 7 over 11. That means we have a good chance of getting our triangle out of this particular box, okay? So if you have a good chance, that means you are somewhere here. That it is not certain. It's not 11 over 11. So we are not certain. It's not 100% sure. We fall somewhere here. That means it is likely, okay? It is likely that we will choose triangle out of this box. Again, we will have our second activity. That will be task 2 on this section, and then we meet in our final video. See you. Hello students, welcome to our final video on our topic probability. I believe that you have enjoyed lessons today in probability and it has concreted your understanding on probability. That is very good. From the first video to the second video to this particular video, I believe that now any question on probability will be very easy for you. On a recap, the first thing that I want you to understand is that probability is the measure of looking at how possible something will occur or will not occur. Because of that, we need a line of probability to guide us to determine our results all the time. So this is our line of probability. It always starts from the impossible to a poor chance. Even chance means we have a 50-50 chance. A good chance means that you have a greater chance of getting what you are expecting. And certain means that you are sure. That means you are 100% positive that you're going to get the results that you are expecting, okay? So your line of probability can be in words, can be in fraction, or you can also use percentages to also show your line of probability. Some questions will give you a clear picture of taking a fraction to find the answers. Others too, you need to understand the keywords that are being used. For example, in our first video, we use even numbers and odd numbers. You need to understand these keywords to help you to find the results that you are also looking for. In probability, you need to widen your scope to have a better understanding of the environment around you. That will help you to always find answers to your probability questions, okay? So to conclude our lesson today, we will always conclude with our homework that will keep us a little busy so that we don't forget entirely what we have studied or we don't get much idle time. So we have a homework that will also be posted to you just as we did for the first task and that of the second task. Please make sure that you complete your homework before our next class so that you don't lose any point and you don't miss any understanding on probability. Thank you for joining class and I'll see you again next week.